Hey, and welcome to Money in a Hot Minute, where I answer your money questions quickly. Today's question comes from Laura, and she asks, what are the best index funds to buy via a brokerage account versus a retirement account? This is a great question because it allows me to clarify a few points about different types of accounts and the best investments for each. First of all, let's clarify that by brokerage account, we should be referring to a regular taxable brokerage account, meaning there is no tax deferral or tax advantage benefits to this. You pay tax on gains or dividends in the actual year that you receive them. And by retirement account, let's clarify that this means a type of tax deferred or tax advantage account with the objective to invest for retirement years down the road. This would be a 401k, a traditional or Roth IRA, for example, something of the like. And these are actually the types of accounts that you can open up at a brokerage. The brokerage firm is allowing you to buy and sell securities, and the type of account at the brokerage is either going to be a taxable account or a retirement account. Okay, so now that we have some definitions clarified, how do you decide what types of index funds or investments to put in either type of account? There are a lot of variables here, but here are some guidelines and tips. First, you need to consider your tax situation for the taxable brokerage account because after all, your investments aren't tax deferred and Uncle Sam will want his money. So if you're trying to manage your taxable income, you may want to consider deferring more contributions to retirement accounts instead. Otherwise, you really can invest in index funds of your choice or any other type of security. Bonds, for example, thematic ETFs that invest for a certain theme or sector, individual stocks, mutual funds, and more. So you can position your taxable brokerage to be invested for the long term in similar indices as your retirement account is and hold for a long time to take advantage of long-term capital gains later. But don't forget, you'll owe tax on dividends along the way since it's a taxable brokerage account and it's not a retirement account that's tax deferred. But you can still reinvest those dividends, and you should. Here's a list of some of the largest index funds by assets that they manage. You can see that the top two are S&P 500 index funds, which tracks 500 of the largest US companies. Third is a total US stock market ETF that is more diversified across companies of all sizes and not just the larger ones. In your taxable brokerage account, if you want to get even cuter and manage taxes on investments, there are actually securities called municipal bonds, which are issued by local governments. The IRS gives us a tax break on the interest that these bonds pay out. So they're most ideal to own in a taxable brokerage account versus a retirement account because you're getting that tax break on the interest. Check with your finance or tax professional on if these bonds could work in your portfolio. They don't come without risk, but they are considered lower risk investments than stocks. Real estate investment trusts, or REITs for short, are sort of like if a bond and a stock had a baby. They invest in real estate and they pay out interest. And due to the Tax Cut and Jobs Act, REIT interest qualifies for a tax deduction. So many people are preferring to hold them in taxable brokerage accounts. But tax laws can change on a dime. So again, consult a tax professional to stay abreast. As far as what index funds or other investments to own in a retirement account, if you have an employer sponsoring your plan, you will likely be at the mercy of whatever index funds that they offer you. If you have a self-employed retirement account like a solo 401k or a SEP IRA, or if you're contributing to a personal IRA, you're pretty much open to the same index funds, stocks, bonds, or mutual funds that you can buy in a taxable brokerage account. As long as you go with any of the main providers, you should be good. For example, brokerages like Fidelity, SCHWAB, or TD Ameritrade. You want your money to be invested for the long run, which index funds are great for. You want to think about your portfolio investments as being diversified properly for your risk tolerance across things like US large cap stocks, US small cap stocks, possibly international stocks, and maybe some bonds. Although our interest rate environment isn't making bond investing easy at the moment, but it doesn't mean that they can't fit in. There are so many ways to construct a portfolio, but you can keep it simple with the top index funds, and maybe the more you learn, the more you can adjust your portfolio allocation as you go to be a bit more tactical. Because there are so many variables when trying to invest, actually created a training program to walk you through navigating what different kinds of investments are and how to decide which ones are for you and your portfolio. I give you the power to think like a professional investor. Be sure to check out the link in the show notes to my community to get access to all of the tools I've created for you to grow your wealth the right way. All right, finance fam, give this video a thumbs up if you want more content like it. It helps me out big time. If you have a question that you want answered, be sure to put it in the comments. See you in the next video.